got a couple of cars out on the track now. That's Jay in the 4 and Casey there in the 6. So far, Caleb with the hot lap of practice. Jay just 0.6 of a second, hundredths of a second behind him. Let's see if we can get some of these cars packed up before we go to race time here. Oh, big bobble by Casey headed into 1 there. There's Waylon exiting on the back stretch. This 2 pack of cars right here going to pull away from him. These cars are all going to be tight enough to throw a big blanket over them once we get racing. The more cars there are in a pack, the faster they're going to go. There's Michael sitting on pit lane. Eric yet to turn any laps. Lucas still on the pit lane. Carter, Adam as well. Here's Waylon out running some laps on his own. There's Venice coming up onto the track in front of him. Those two ought to get hooked up here and start running some fast lap times. Let's ride along on board. Big run on Venice coming out of 4. Where does he carry it? He goes to the outside. He's not going to get that pass made by the start-finish line, but he's going to have position on him headed into turn 1 here. There's a look out his driver's side window as Venice pulls a little bit back ahead of him. No cars behind him. It's hard to get an advantage. You really need a car behind you pushing to get an advantage here. Right along from the roll bar cam now as Venice scoots out ahead of him, but Waylon's going to have a run coming off of 4. Can he get to him before the line? Not this time. If he had a car behind him, though, that would be all he needed. They head down the back stretch side by side. Let's see if Waylon can carry some momentum through on that high side this time around. There's Jay headed in. And we've got Adam out on the track now. Looks like we may have the entire field has put down a lap time. Yes, and they are all within a half a second of each other. It is going to be tight, tight, tight once the green flag falls. Doesn't look like Adam's going to find a group of cars to hook up here with in the intermediate time. He's going to run slower lap times as a result. Jay still on the pit road. Meanwhile, Carter and Caleb, they're running some fast lap times together. Looks like Eric in the back of the frame there. I don't think he's going to be close enough to catch the draft and get involved with this pair of cars. It's all about where you go and when and who's with you when you go in this one. You see Carter can't pull that pass off on the high side right now by himself, but if he had a car behind him, he would definitely be giving Caleb the business, and he does pull off the pass just at the line. That was close there. Eric making a little bit of time on those cars in front of him now that they're side by side. We've got about 5 minutes till race time now. Looks like Michael and Lucas forming up behind Eric here. Indeed, we've got Michael in the 10 and Lucas in the 7. They've formed up side by side going into the front stretch here. The lap times on the field have come down under a half second now. Boy, they are side by side, close, getting a little, that side draft headed into turn 3. Michael hanging it on that outside. He's trying to get that big run off of 4. Can he get in before the line? Yes, it looked like he might have. Oh, what a gap between first and second place. Just 18 thousandths of a second now. Eric might be catching these cars in front of him a little bit. He may catch this pack here in another lap or two. But we've got time running down now. Jay back out on the track. He and Caleb. Jay on the high side. Caleb down low in the 2. And they're picking up the draft of a car in front of them. That's Carter. Let's see how that plays out for him. Jay with the advantage in the draft of Carter right now. Carter eases down into that low lane, gives the advantage back to Caleb. And Jay's letting that momentum he had through into turn 4 carry him out, and he's going to have Carter well at the line here. Just about 2 minutes till race time now. Michael pulling off the track. Looks like he's going to take it in, do some adjustments on it. And we've got Venice chasing Adam down the back stretch now. Qualifying will be randomly determined starting at the start of the race. Oh, Venice with a quick practice time there. Went to second on that lap. Just 0.2 of a second. Adam gonna get it. Oh no, he went to the top of the board on that lap. Put Caleb 0.02 of a second down. Let's see if Adam can improve his time with this lap. He had quite a good draft on down the back stretch on that one. That'll certainly help. No improvement on his time yet. And Casey out there turning some laps on his own. Same as Waylon back out on the track now as Lucas heads down the pit lane. Oh, we've got a pack forming here just as it's time to form a big pack and let them go. Caleb and Jay caught Carter, and now they're running him down. Carter pulls off, forces Caleb to check up. But that's going to be all the time we've got for practice. It is time to shake them up and get ready for the race. One moment. Yeah, there we go. Oops, wrong button. All right, we will have our qualifying order momentarily. And we've got Caleb starting up front on pole.
He'll be on 1 to go. He'll be lining up inside.
There they are, lined up on the front stretch here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They are getting ready to pull away, and we are getting ready to go green. Let's take a run through the field real quick. Up front on the front row, we've got Caleb starting pole with Waylon on the outside. In row 2, we've got Carter down on the low line with Michael up top. Back in row 3, we've got Jay starting down on the low line with Casey to his outside. Behind them in row 4, Lucas starts on the inside line with Venice on the outside line. And the last row, we have Adam on the low line with Eric to his outside. We are getting ready to turn these cars loose and see what happens. Oh, I forgot to turn the lap counter back on. My bad. There we go. The pace car about to take a hard left onto pit road, and we are about to see who wins the race to Nikola Jokic for the 2024-2025 season. Here they come, and Caleb hits the gas, and this field is underway. This race has begun. Caleb with a big jump out front as the field gets up through the gears. It's quiet now, but it won't last. Caleb gets down in that low line, staying ahead of that pack. Waylon squeezes Jay. He's trying to get every bit of draft he can. Boy, we may have a 3-wide battle for the lead headed into turn 3 on lap 1. Jay looking to the inside, and he's going to make the move inside on Carter. And it looks like Jay will lead lap 1 as Lucas thinks about pulling out but pulls back in. Decides better of it. Jay leads lap 1, and they are 2 wide all the way through the field as we head into turns 1 and 2 for lap 2. That outside line forming up. Jay going up there thinking about cutting off that run, but that may cost him. They're 3 wide into turn 3 now for the lead. Lucas on that low side. He's got Casey behind him. Meanwhile, Jay in no man's land there in the middle with no one behind him. Oh, he gets a good run off of 4, though, and he's going to lead lap 3. Still 3 wide, headed into turn 1 now. Carter up on the high side. Jay still in the middle with no one behind him. And Lucas down low, followed by Casey. Jay trying to make something happen, get a little position on that high line and slip up in front of them, but they are going to remain 3 wide. A full lap running 3 wide as Lucas pulls out in front, and Jay finally clears a little space on Carter. Oh, they are coming dangerously close, and Jay leads lap 3 as well. Boy, he's making that inside, that middle lane work right now, but how long can that last? Oh, and it looks like Adam is thinking of jumping up there behind him, putting a little draft behind him. Oh, they remain 3 wide, and Casey is pushing Lucas as hard as he can. There's some space outside. Jay can get up in that high line. Let's see if that high line reforms. Oh, nope. Oh, contact, light contact, headed into 1. Jay drifts out into Carter, but Carter hangs strong on the outside while Lucas keeps it nailed to the bottom down there, just keeping his spot. A third of the way through this one now. Jay finally clears Carter as Eric, with Venice in tow, making a charge to the inside. He had it was open on Casey, but Casey shut the door on him. Now Lucas tries to straddle both lines. He wants to stay in front of whichever one has the momentum. I do believe Lucas may have led that lap. Meanwhile, Jay hangs strong in the outside, and now Casey and Eric have hooked up, and they are hugging that blue inside line for all it's worth through the corners. Little breakaway at the front of the field here. Let's see if Casey makes a move on Lucas. He's thinking about it. Oh, a bobble by Lucas there. Lucas shuts just enough of the door to keep Casey out for now, but here they come into the front stretch. Casey thinking about making it 3 wide, and he is going to try it at the first opportunity he gets. And now Eric thinking of pushing to the inside of Casey, thinks better of it as Casey slides back down into 1 and 2. That top line needs more cars in it if they're going to go anywhere, as Eric once again looking to the inside of Casey, and he just doesn't have it to make that move stick. He needs a little help from behind, and he's just not getting it right now. Casey maybe trying to put the crossover on Lucas there. Looked to the outside and then ducked back to the inside where it's safe. Oh no, there's the pace car. No one gives a shit about that. Waylon and Michael catching up with the field. They are going to hit the field with a full head of steam here in just a few laps. We are now past the halfway point. They are 3 wide back in the middle of the field. Up front, Carter and Lucas Carter and Jay up top. And Carter dumps out. Oh! He moved to the low line. Jay up there all by himself right now in no man's land. It is a long way back to Adam. That is going to take a lot of speed and momentum out of his car. Oh, Venice jumping to the outside of Eric. And now Lucas slides up. Both lines equal as Lucas leads him into 3. But here comes Casey with a run on the low line. Lucas tries to come down to stop the run, but it's too late. Casey is on the inside of him, and we may have a new leader in this one. Lucas gets back down in front of the field before the start-finish line and leads them back into 1 now. The high line not having any success as we've got just 6 laps to go in this one. Again, Casey charges to the inside, but Lucas falls down to pick up the momentum from that run. That inside line is getting awful racy right now. They are close, and we have a challenge and a pass for the lead headed into turn 1. Casey goes to the bottom on Lucas. He gets it. Looks like Eric is going to move even with Lucas as well. Let's see where Casey goes on the backstretch. And here goes Lucas back to the inside. Now he wants that lead back. Not much Casey can do, but just let him go with it. Eric's still on that low line. He's trying to charge forward. And now Casey dips back into the low line, gets in front of Eric, gives Eric a little pull as Waylon and Caleb have hooked up in 1 and 2, and they are charging hard. Casey continues to lead now as we head into turn 3. Just 4 laps to go in this one. Casey, he almost came down in front of Eric, but he thought better of it at the last second. Eric takes it to the lead anyways. He needs some help behind him, and he's going to get it in the form of Lucas and Jay dropping into that low line. Jay pops back to the high line, though. He's going to push Casey through 1 and 2. It's been clean and green in this one so far. Will it last? Caleb running that middle line, trying to get the best run and the best wind that he can off of the cars in front of him as Eric leads us to lap 14. We have got just 2 laps to go in this one now. Casey trying to get something going on that high line, but it just does not look like anything is going at this moment. Here comes Lucas through the middle. Is he going to shoot the gap and take it 3 wide for the lead? It looks like he's thinking real hard about it, and he slides back down behind Eric. They are coming to the white flag this time. We have just one more lap to decide who gets the honor to draft Nikola Jokic #1 overall. Lucas leads them headed into 1 and 2. Caleb in his tow. Eric and Casey up top. Who can make a move where? Lucas moves up top to stop the run from the high line. Caleb takes advantage down low. Who is going to get it here? Can Lucas? Lucas is not going to. Oh, he came through 3 and 4 too high. That killed a lot of momentum for that high line. Caleb skates out to the front. Waylon in second place. Is Lucas going to get him for second place? No, he is not. Wow, what a finish. Lucas had a handle on it heading into turns 3 and 4 of the final lap and just lost it, ran wide. Let's go to the official results here. We've got Caleb with the victory, Waylon second, Lucas third, Adam in fourth. Eric drops all the way back to fifth, Michael in the sixth position. Casey, Venice, Jay, and Carter round out the top 10. Oh, that was certainly exciting. Let's go back and see the finish one more time. Here's the final lap. Lucas with a nice big lead coming out of turn 2 here, but this is just about where it all goes wrong for him. He slips up high to get in front of that high line, get a little draft off of them. But then entering turn 3 right here, you can see he gets up, way up by the wall, and that just allows Caleb and Waylon to sneak right underneath him coming to the line. But he still manages to finish in the top 3 despite it. And that will be our 2024-2025 draft order. Once again, the draft starts the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same time Football Night in America kicks off.